Okay, boys and girls, here we are again. Mike Kelly again for AnimatorsForum.com. This is an explanation of some of the changes I've made into Walk Assist. First and foremost, guys, it now should work correctly on those of you that are on the Mac. I'm sorry I didn't test it out with my MacBook Air. I just don't think about that. So I promise I'll try to do that in the future on anything I release for the general public. At least I thought one of my testers had a Mac, but evidently they didn't, or they didn't try out the things they should have tried. But in any case, it should now save and load correctly the bone animations in the right directory, whether it's a Mac or a PC. Also, just to show you too, I'll get to that in a second. But let me first talk about the change I made in the tool. This is a walk I'm trying to do with Leela, and if we go into here and we go back, you'll see she's going down. Notice how she's taking a step downward. And what I'd like to do is that's the first part of the down step, so I want to mirror the second part of the down step. And what I noticed on this was that it didn't accumulate the y-axis changes. Remember the y goes up and down, so it does accumulate the the x-axis changes, which is from left to right. And as they step, they keep going further in this direction, but the y up and down. So I thought I would change it to make that work, and that didn't work because on a walk cycle, when a character walks up and down, you don't want those changes to accumulate. Otherwise, the character will keep going up and up and up, or down and down and down. So in any case, so what I did instead was make the ability to move relative to where you are, and I'll show you that as we do now. So first we've got that first step developed. I'm going to go ahead and mirror it, and you'll see that as I do the mirror, see she starts back up again, where this is actually where she started in the first place. So in order to correct that, what I need to do is I have onion skins turned on, so I need to go here, and I want to drag this down to that foot. Now, in the past, if this didn't have relative keying on, then I would drag it down, and I would have to do that for all the other keys as well. But because I've got relative keying, if you hold down the Control key, not the Alt key, the Control key, and then you position this down, then all the subsequent keys will inherit. So you can see they walk down correctly from there. So they all inherit that positioning. This is actually what relative keyframing is supposed to do. You might say, why don't I just turn that on and then that would do that? Well, it doesn't work with bones. I don't know why it doesn't work with bones. It's something it should work with, but that's okay. So you can use this procedure here, and this will work. So as you can see, now she's stepping down correctly until she gets to the very last frame, because once again, the last frame is just copied from that first frame. So she's going to go back up again. So what we do is we set one more key there. And at this point, you don't really have to use relative keyframing because there's no other keys after this. You can either hold down the Alt key or you can hold down the Control key. It doesn't matter either way. But in any case, we just reposition the foot there, and so then you've got the step correctly. So that'll work. So that's relative keyframing on the Y and the X-axis with that Control key. The other thing I wanted to show you was that for both the Mac and the PC, if you have saved your files in the bone animations, you can also have subdirectories now. So you can see here's a subdirectory I have for miscellaneous walks. So now I load that in, and now that has the miscellaneous. And then I can go back to the home directory, which is that directory up. And also you can load in other files. So you hit other file, and it brings up a file dialog box, and then you can open up files that way. So that way it gives you the ability to manage your files a little bit easier. It's not as elegant as a complete folder system, but at least it's a way of managing multiple files if you're going to have as many bone animations as I have. Finally, last but not least, perhaps, I have this built into my regular programming where I move around the bones, is I have the ability to flip the character. If you try to flip the character yourself, if you go down here to this frame, let's say, and say, oh, now I want her walking in the other direction. The problem is, see this axis here in the center? You probably can't see it, but that's where the axis is. She's been increasing the x-axis distance. So when we flip her, it's going to flip around this x-axis. So for example, if I just go to the regular transform layer tools and we go to flip, you'll see she flips all the way over there. Well, that's obviously not the right place to flip. So what we want to do is have her flip, but also have the x-axis amount get canceled out. You can do that. It's kind of complicated, but I just have it programmably built in now. So what you do, and remember it's a key set, just like you would do on any flip, is that you want to make sure you have a key that holds that position right before you do the flip. So here I have a key all set here for that last keyed position where she is, and so I hit the F key up here, and now it looks like it flipped her over, but in actuality she's right there. It's an artifact of the way it displays it, but now it's fine. So then at that point, you can load in other animations, and you can have her, start running in that direction. So now we can have the, it started off this way, she turns around, and then she goes in that direction, and then, she could stop there at that point, and we can flip her again. And once again, remember that's going to just be an artifact. So she flips around in that direction, and then we can have her, I don't know, just do all kinds of things going in this direction too. We can have her pick up a large object or whatever. So she's going to go in that direction. So that way you can move your characters around and do different things in different directions. So those are the changes. Please give me feedback about anything that is not working or broken, or anything that you might like to see in this process. And thanks for paying attention, and we'll talk to you soon.